Y'all ever have one of them days where you just don't feel your best and you don't look your best? You just feel, you know what I'm saying, down. Well, that's how I feel today, you know? And whenever I feel that way, I go and schedule an appointment to go see my therapist. You know, we're gonna talk about a couple things, talk about life, talk about business. You know, who knows what we're gonna talk about? But yeah, sometimes you just gotta get it out. You know? I know some of us, we're capable of holding in a lot of information, you know, especially us men. We capable of holding in our feelings. We got the skill to be able to ignore it for a long time. I don't really think that's the healthiest way to go about it, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta go and utilize whatever resources you have in order to be able to get it out. I'm actually running a little late. Listen, we gotta do better. I say we because I don't want to feel like I'm alone, but we gotta do better with our time management, man. I feel like barbers hold like a dual position where not only are you kind of, you know, making the person look good by getting them fresh or whatever, but you know, it's a place for them to release at the same time. And a lot of people don't see it like that, but there's a lot of stuff that you kind of get off your chest when you go and see a barber.
That's why it's all about the experience.
Right.
A lot of barbers treat it like a business transaction,
Right.
instead of giving their customers an experience. Simply, basically off of the aesthetic, like what you hear, what you see, what you smell, you know, the things that we talk about. I try to create a unique experience for everybody. So everybody who sit in my chair, they get their time with me and I get my time with them.
Remember that. Let's be real, like, just pay your bills, right? The more clients you get, that's the more money you get. So you could almost kind of start to see your clients as income. You know what I'm saying?
Or you can see them as relationships that, you know,
Right.
people support you.
I know I kind of struggle with that a little bit. I want to get as many clients as possible, get as many weekends filled out as possible, because ultimately that means, you know, more money.
Right.
But when I look at it from that perspective, I can see a loss of quality in the work that I do. I'm taking a different approach now of like really focusing on like the actual love aspect, hearing from the couple and seeing why they chose each other to take the step. Cause that's a huge step, dog.
Yeah, it is. Some big commitment.
Right. I think by me changing the approach of like what I'm trying to capture, it helps me to have a purpose. That way I don't just see the clients as, okay, this is another couple, but I'm looking for the actual story.
But it's not just another transaction.
Right.
I've been doing this for a long time. So sometimes it just kind of get repetitive and sometimes it feel like a job. You know, this is the way I provide for my family.
Right.
But then, you know, you just kind of got to find ways to ignite that fire again. So sometimes it might be taking a personal trip, might be taking a few days off, it might be watching somebody who inspires you or setting goals or, you know, whatever works for you.
Right.
You got to get creative in your ways of not getting burnt out.
Right.
Too late in the game, man. When you get a little older and get more settled in your life, got a family, then you start realizing, man, the money gonna be there. Time not always gonna be there.
Right.
So you know, you trying to chase a dollar, you start missing out on quality time with the people around you.
We're trained to put the pursuit of money first, as if that's the most valuable thing. We all need the finances and we all need the income to be able to support ourselves. But what I started to do is change my mindset around what is the definition of like wealthy and rich. You know what I'm saying? Is money the definition? How much you have in your bank account, or is your happiness the definition?
But when you bring another person into the picture, you married or you got kids, you know, that's an obligation that you gotta feel. It's an obligation you sign up for. So that time that you would give to your business and giving your business all your energy, efforts, now you gotta spread that to your situation at home.
Right.
You know, before getting married, you'll have that. You can put all your time, focus, and energy into your business.
Right.
You know, when you bring another person on board, you know, not they require some of your time.
Right.
You know, you have obligations to them. There's things that you got to do at the house or whatever. So you got to make time for that person. It's not just about you and your business anymore. When you're single, you're dating your business.
Right. I feel like if I did have like a designated person, right, that's my wife, that'll give me extra motivation to kind of do what I need to do. Not lazy, but I guess procrastinate a lot because I don't really have nobody else.
Somebody to motivate you.
Right. I ain't got nobody depending on me, and you know I'm cool.
It's kind of like I get to it when I get to it.
Right. Now I do want to, you know, progress, and I do want to get to a certain level, but I don't feel any like pressure to do so. So I'm just kind of taking my time. But I feel like if I did have somebody that I knew, okay, this is the person I'm supposed to be with, we in this thing together, that might give me a little bit motivation to kind of, all right, let me focus on what I need to do to get us to where we need to be. But also kind of that person can be a little bit of a distraction. I'm gonna say a good distraction away from your work, because sometimes you do need to kind of decompress a little bit from the business side and kind of focus on the things that actually, you know, mean something.
No doubt.
You know, so like when you're single, you do have a lot of time to yourself. You don't have nothing taken away from that. Actually, in the scripture, Paul said, I wish everybody could be single like me, because then you could really do what
Focus on what you need to focus on.
Right. And focus on that relationship with God. But it was like somebody who married, you got to divide that time. But then on the other hand, they say, you know, it's encouraged to find somebody to do life with, you know. So I can see it both ways. The time it takes to get to the point to where you reach God's standard, which I don't think we're going to reach no time in this lifetime. Like, we ain't going to be perfected, but we constantly progressing and working to that point. But it can kind of get discouraging when you be like, dang, I still ain't reached the standard, even though I tried, even though I put that effort in or whatever, I still ain't reached that standard. So how do you stay motivated to continue to progress, even though sometimes you might fall short of the standard?
I think you can't focus on your mistakes. You can't focus on what you don't have. A lot of times our mind will do that to us. We can have, you know, not even just possessions, but we can have a decent life, good life, but your mind always gonna make you feel like you're not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't focus on that though. You can't focus on your shortcomings. You can't focus on your failures. Guess what? Reaching up, you're gonna go through things and you're gonna fail again. You're right. We never gonna be perfect in that sense. But that don't mean that you don't stop trying.
Right.
You know, you gotta keep working towards your goal.
Right.
One day you'll get that 225, and after that, your goal gonna be 235. You know, you just gotta keep adding on to it, man.
Right.
Everybody's road and path is different.
Fill up. Got me looking like Beam. There you go. Appreciate you as always, bro.
It's appreciate you.
Don't mind the fact that I look like Beam right now. I still gotta wash my hair. You know the magic gonna be worked. But yeah, my barber is a form of a therapist, you know. You work on your outside appearance, and you kind of could get a little bit of stuff off your chest. But what I realized in the black community, that's the closest thing to a therapist that we have, especially as men. And I'm kind of glad that it's kind of changing. It's becoming normal for people to go see therapists. But like I said before, use any resource that you can, man. That's what people are for. They're here for you to be able to grow with, do life with. And how can you do life if you don't allow for some people to know what you're actually holding inside? That puts you in a very vulnerable position because you never know people's motives, and people can, you know, utilize that against you. But that ain't my concern right now. I feel like I have the wisdom and the discernment to be able to choose wisely who to reveal some information to and who not to. Everybody that's a listening ear is now worthy of you expressing to. But you do have to express to somebody. But I ain't gonna lie, I do feel better. Now I gotta go home and wash my hair. We Gucci. When you get a haircut, it just make you feel like a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? Your eyes automatically get a little bit lower. You just do things a little bit more smoothly, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go run errands, and it's 6 o'clock. What errands I'm gonna run at 6 o'clock, I don't know, but I'm gonna find something to run. Nah, but I feel like I can conquer the world, though. Got a lot out of my system, and I feel like I look good. I feel like I can close every deal that I need to close. You need something filmed? You can make that happen at Levitation Productions. But make sure you do whatever you need to do in order to make sure that you straight. Whether that's self-care or just talking to somebody. Take care of yourself. There's too much going on, too much happening that can make us feel like crap. And if we play too much into the way the world operates, we're gonna inevitably start treating people like crap. But that's the reason why most people have bad attitudes, is because they feel like crap. And so because we have an understanding of why we might feel like crap on the inside, we can give a little grace to people who may be going through a rough time, who may not be feeling the friendliest, you know? So keep that in mind, and next time you feel like crap, next time you kind of feel a little depressed, or you're feeling down, you ain't feeling like yourself. But analyze your life. Maybe you're taking on too much stress. Maybe you need to release a lot of stuff that you've been holding on to. You don't know how much that can kind of relieve some things. So yeah, I'm about to go take the trash out. The trash man don't come in 4 days. But I'm going to take the trash out. Somebody gotta see me. I already worked out today. I'm going back to the gym. Somebody gotta see me. Somebody gotta see me. I'm gone.